Hello everyone and welcome back to my studio. I've got a very special guest with me today, a player whose work I've admired a great deal since I first saw her online. It's GWENIFER RAYMOND.
Hello everyone.
Yes indeed. GWENIFER, your playing reminds me of what I would term as American primitivism guitar styles. Things like John Fay, Robbie Basho, that sort of thing. Is that accurate?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I kind of came out of blues playing originally,
right.
But I was doing my own kind of instrumental sort of blues compositions before someone basically played me a John Fay record and said, "Oh, it sounds a bit like this." I was like, "Oh, okay, quite like that. That's all right." Yeah, so I guess I've been calling it Welsh primitive. I think in recent years, but it's mostly because I'm not from America, so you know.
Welsh primitive. It's
not the most imaginative retitling. So I was listening to kind of a lot of pre-war stuff. So I guess the first alternating thumb, right, which is kind of what this is all deriving from, I learned was Mississippi John Hurt. Yeah. I think I bought like a Blues Roots of Bob Dylan, £5 CD from HMV, and that was the first track on there. And it was straight up bought that old Stefan Grossman Teach Yourself John, what's it, Blues Masters or whatever it's called. Right. I got and then just started from there, and then, but yeah, like Blind Boy Fuller. I mean, Skip James doesn't really do the alternating thumb so much, but he's kind of got that spooky style, a lot of D minor, which is, that was pretty influential on, I guess, like, less technically, but more aesthetically with the style, So you got that kind of, so it could be in any key, right? It was up to that point, but then you bring it in, kind of got that nice ringing, flattened bit.
Well, so you'd use the thumb over the neck to cover more than one string. Are you saying is that something that you do when you play?
Oh yeah, you can. Because I'm in the wrong tuning for it, but there's some you get that. It's quite fun, I know. I do like that. It sounds wrong. I kind of like the buzzing as well.
Yeah. I think you're the first fingerstyle guitarist that I've interviewed, except for maybe Will Ackerman, that wears picks. Have you always used picks? Was it something that you came to later in life?
No, when it wasn't even a fingerstyle guitarist, right? Until later in life, I was a punk guitar player playing with a flat pick for most of my not most of my life, because I'm fucking old now, but up until that point, no, I kind of oscillated a bit. I started playing with just my finger pads, like when I was playing John Hurt stuff, and that's how he played.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I picked them up. I was just out of curiosity, and I kind of then oscillated between playing them and not playing them. But I just always found that I just preferred the sound of them, and it's just a matter of getting used to them. I think that's the problem a lot of people have, right? So once I was really locked in, I was like, yeah, man, it's all about finger picks.
I found that they were, first of all, a little bit uncomfortable, but also that I lost kind of quite a lot of sensitivity. Like there was something blocking my response between the pad on my finger and the string itself. So you've obviously got used to them. How did you overcome that?
It is just, it's obvious, right? It's just doing it. I mean, the one thing I think people do struggle with, because they assume they're doing it wrong, but in fact you're doing it correct, which is they hurt.
Right.
They really hurt.
To.
Yeah. Like my thumb goes blue after a show. Like, I've got no feeling. It can be quite painful getting my thumb pick off if I'm doing a particularly long set.
Really.
But yeah, I found that to get to the level where they kind of feel like a second skin, they've got to be on super tight. And part of that is just like, just suck it up. You know what I mean? They're going to hurt. They hurt, and then you get used to it, so they don't really hurt so much anymore. But when they start, it's horrible. It's not very fun. But I also, this is more to do with because, on stage being a sweaty mess is a real thing. And it might be a problem in the studio, because I'm already sweating, I use a Gorilla Snot, which is like this...
the sticky stuff?
Drumstick stuff, yeah, and I coat it, just like finger mix, it's disgusting. Really? And I just coat them with that. Usually, like, it lasts a while, but you want to put it on like the day before a show, or before a tour,
really?
And let it set so it's like super sticky and gross. It's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Another thing that I noticed, you can't play upstrokes with the thumb, or can you?
I guess you can if you want, but I don't.
I was never able to, and it's something that I use quite a bit when I'm playing just fingerstyle guitar. I'll flick the thumb up like this, and I found that I was just tipping the pick under my thumb, and it was no longer any use. But you don't seem to have that issue.
Well, I probably do. I just don't do it. I just use my fingers. Just got 3 of them. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's fine.
So you're using 3 fingers. The other 2 are basically there as an anchor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that. Whatever the piece of music requires. But yeah, that's the traditional. You're kind of, you're alternating. It's that bassy drum thing, and then the melody. But yeah, if you can, you can mess around with it. I don't know, whatever it needs.
So give it a go. That is a phenomenal amount of volume. Even with a responsive guitar, I could never hope to go that level of volume. That's really quite impressive. And I noticed that we've got are those nickel wound strings?
I do Monels.
What are they? I'm not familiar.
So the ones that say Monel on the front. Oh, so
I looked into that.
I think it is I literally can't remember specifically what it is. I think it is a type of nickel winding, but it's like it's like an old fashioned.
Right.
I think I use Martins, and sometimes they just label them retro.
Oh, okay.
And that's the
retro
one.
strings.
Retro strings. I really like them because they break in fast.
Right.
And
when you say break in, do you mean that they just stop sounding bright and new and all the things that I look for in the string?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they sound dull as fuck immediately. No, they sound good. Like I like them. I think the new strings can be too bright.
Right.
But also they like last a while. I can't be doing with the non-coated ones because they don't even last a whole gig.
Really.
But these seem to last a gig.
So it's a fine balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
For you want something that doesn't have that new shine to it, but it can't sound like it's wound with lead.
Yeah.
Next,
It makes a big difference with playing with picks as well. And also from a practical point of view, they're a bit cheaper than the fancy coated ones.
Really?
So because I have to replace them every gig. Because I play hard and they get wrecked. So it's like a practical. You can get them for like £8.
£8, not bad at all, is it, ladies and gentlemen? What sort of guitar would best suit this style of music? Now, obviously, that's a bit of a trick question, isn't it? Sometimes because we all know that it would be silly to walk into a guitar shop, buy a white Strat and a Marshall stack, and think, right, here we go, I'm now Jimi Hendrix. You've chosen a 14 fret smaller body instrument. It's one of the beautiful Waterloo guitars, the Collings.
Yes.
Waterloo.
It's a WL14L.
Right. So is that like a Gibson 00 kind of idea?
I think it's like a nod to the old Kalamazoos,
Very cool.
Yeah.
So it's fan braced as well, did you say?
It's ladder braced.
It's ladder braced.
Yeah.
I beg its pardon.
That's what the L stands for in W14L.
It's a learning day, everybody. For me, anyway. So, first of all, spruce top. What's on the back and sides? It looks like mahogany.
Wood, I think.
Wood. I'd definitely go along with that initial assessment. I think it's fair to say mahogany back and sides. So, are you looking for a dry sound rather than a sort of reverberant, glassy kind of vibe?
Yeah, I think it's because, when you're playing like a lot, when you've got a lot of notes, it can get a bit lost. You want something in which, you can put those notes punch out. So, if you're playing it like a dreadnought or something, it just turns into a kind of a bit of a sloppy mess. So, yeah, I like small body guitars that got that sort of punchy sound. I typically find, I'm a poor guitar nerd. I'm just like, I don't know what the wood is. But I know the shape I like though, which is big sort of kind of narrow waist and big butts on a guitar are what I like for that. I don't know. Every guitar that I like's always got that shape. It's just something I have noticed over the years.
That's interesting.
But this just has, yeah.
Is that wired for sound? Is there a pickup in there?
Yeah, there's a pickup in there. Yeah. I can't remember what I've replaced it since, and I can't remember what I replaced it with.
K&K or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Something like K&K. But I use what's it called, DPA live. I actually mix them. I have a DPA, and then I take the line out from this and shove it through. What have I bought recently? I used to use a Fishman Spectrum, but I've since not traded in, but swapped it for a new, like a new fancy mixing DI.
Oh, very nice.
And can't remember what I bought.
Grace Audio Felix or something like that?
No, it's just in my bag somewhere. I do a lot of research and then I forget all of the research I've done once I've bought the object.
This is such a refreshing attitude to get. I think we could all learn a great deal from this approach. So that's interesting. You've got a blend.
Yeah,
but it's an external mic, so it's the DPA 4099, right? The little clip-on number.
Classic little gooseneck thing.
I managed to break the first one of those that ever came into the country.
Oh
wow! I was hanging out with the rep Walter, and he brought this beautiful thing, and the doorbell rang. And I stood on the little lead and kept going with the guitar and just pulled the wire out of the bottom of it. They're quite fragile. Well, they're quite fragile when subjected to that level of abuse and stupidity, I suppose, which is true of a lot of gear. But you're quite rough with it. Do you worry about the clip sort of coming loose or falling off, or is it?
The clip's pretty good, I think. I mean, I've got a few spares, and I have snapped one of them. But no, they're pretty good, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm rough here, but I'm not. It's okay.
So that bit's okay.
They stick there. Put them there. They're usually okay.
Right.
I did find though, I've got like a cheap. Those clips are so expensive, right? But I only have two of them. But then I'm just because I'm scared of losing them because I have misplaced them in the past. I bought like a bunch, and I bought some cheap knockoff ones, and I've got this one which is like this solid bit of. It's got like suction cups and all of that.
Brilliant.
And I do think it's actually better than the official one, although I've snapped off one of the legs, but it still works.
I do find it very interesting that you're going for a hybrid blended sound already. Is that something that you pan, or is it just a blend straight out the centre?
Just centre, no, just straight mono. I do a little bit. Basically, this is supposed to be kind of the sort of oomph, right? Yeah. So it's one of the reasons why I've got this little DI is it's effectively low passed to a certain degree. So that you're kind of doing the body, and you give them that big extra sort of low end boom. So you have that up. So that's nice and big, and then the nice delicate stuff comes out of the mic.
Stuff comes out of the mic.
Yeah.
There we go. I mean, that's pretty much my own approach as well. I use one of these Gefels on stage at the 12th fret and the K&K inside the guitar.
Yeah. I think it's a good method.
It certainly works for a natural sound. It's funny, I just did an article for Guitarist magazine about acoustic guitar pickups over the ages, and I was a child of the 90s. I grew up believing that Takamine Ovation piezo quack was, my destiny. And I found out, thankfully, that there's all sorts of other stuff available to us. I was certainly chasing something natural, or as close to natural as I could get.
Yeah, I think that's what you want. I mean, natural plus, right? You kind of want, you want the best version of natural, right? Which is you can really hear that. Well, for me, you can really hear that bass coming through because it's that's the whole point of playing this style, right? Is you're trying to kind of represent the different musical jobs, right? So bass, rhythm, and then melody. I'm not a fan of, precise, nice sounding guitar, it has to be said.
Well, look, I'll try not to take that personally. Well, it's funny that, isn't it? Because there has to be, I think, a balance between that overtly neat way of playing.
Yeah.
That's just got no fun to it. I want to smell a little bit of blood and earth and so on.
Well, you're shifting it, right? The whole thing is contrast. That's kind of the idea, isn't it, really? And telling a story, you got to have a counterpoint. Otherwise, it's a pretty boring story. I am a big fan of minor keys.
Right.
Because I write miserable music for miserable people. So yeah, minor key music. And there is, on the second album they've got 2 songs in a key. I have absolutely no fucking clue whatever it is. I don't know what tuning it's in. I made it up. I went online, put them all into like what key is this chord or whatever? What chord is this? I was like, fuck, it wasn't this long.
Gwen, I have a question about recording techniques.
Yeah.
Now, you self-record.
I do, yeah.
Which is something that we're all learning to do these days. How would you mic up your own guitar?
So I am a big fan of mid-side. So I recorded, I had a couple of very fancy Sennheiser, it's like a classic mid-side, actually it's a classic double mid-side setup for I recorded my last album on, but I didn't use one of the mics, it was a single mid-side setup. I've recorded stereo before, just straight stereo with a couple of Rhodes, NT5s or whatever, and like you get a nice stereo sound, but it kind of lacks a bit of that, kind of bit of balls. So I found that's the mid-side is just great for that. Just because you kind of get all the from the center channel, then you get all that nice kind of stereo spread in the sides, and then you can also do that great trick. I forgot what it's called. There's a name for it, but that great trick where you like delay one channel to the left or right channel by like 10 milliseconds, 15 milliseconds, and it enhances the stereo experience. And I find that's I don't know. You do that immediately, it makes everything sound about 10 times better. Yeah, honestly, it's like the one trick you need to know. Right? There's only one trick you can do because it's basically a free trick. You just like JavaScript delay on one of the channels by like 10 milliseconds, banging.
That's fascinating. Do you use any compression or reverb or anything like that? When
a little bit, yeah. Just
so you're not a complete purist in terms of there shall be no verb.
No, come on, because it's fine. No, I just a bit of Valhalla vintage verb, and a bit of I can't even remember some random VST I use for the. No, I think it's fine to just to muck about. It's quite fun, I mean, I guess maybe if you have a perfect room, you don't need to worry so much about.
That's a luxury, isn't it?
Yeah, but who has that, right? I'm recording in my top floor flat over the neighbour's dog. I need some help. I need some performance enhancements.
What advice would you have for other people who self-record when it comes to wearing the performance engineer and producer hat at the same time?
There isn't much to it beyond pissing about and making sure your sound is exactly what you want, or get as close as you can be to begin with. And then so you don't have to worry about anything other than pressing record when you're doing the performance, right? Because that's all you want to do. Like you press record, right? That's the joy of being in the studios. Someone else does that for you, so you can just do that one little bit, then you'll be all right. The other thing is, honestly, get a ruler to your center mic and a fucking angle, so you know exactly where you are when you're recording, and so you don't have to then like every song slightly different. I got to mix it slightly different. Like just straight in.
You recently supported one of my favourite directors, although he was coming over to the UK as a musician, Jim Jarmusch. How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a funny one. I think he just likes my music, which is great. Thanks, Jim. Big Jim. No, I mean, he'd liked a bunch of my stuff on social media. Apparently, Jim Jarmusch loves Instagram, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's the concept, isn't it?
Yeah. He was playing a gig in London with Josef van Wissem, who's his soundtrack guy, his lute player.
Yeah,
and they were trying to support. And luckily, it was also helpful that the London promoter I played for quite a lot.
Right.
Apparently, Mr. Jarmusch suggested me. I was like, oh, I know Gwen. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Cheers, bud. Just a gig, but yeah, quite cool.
From the performance point of view, what does it take for you to get into the zone and get into that sort of, right, now I know I'm on fire?
Yeah, it's a funny one. It's kind of hard to predict sometimes for me. I mean, one thing that is really important for me is, it's a bit precious, but it is being able to hear myself. Right, sure. That's like because sometimes you're playing places where the acoustics aren't great to come back, and like the monitors kind of suck.
I have been there.
Yeah, and it's really hard to like, because then what tends to happen then is for me anyway, I'll get a bit annoyed and I'll play a bit extra hard, which is fun, but probably doesn't sound that great. So yeah, being able to hear something, be able to judge, like, so you can do those kind of dynamics in a more interesting way. You can really get on the loud, quiet, loud kind of pixie shit, right? Like that's really, and when you get that spot on, I think that's when I know, I'm like, okay, this is a good gig, when I can feel that, like, with the dynamics are doing exactly what they want to, and you're not rushing, you're just like you're kind of listening to the song yourself, right? And it's like, oh yeah, this is a good version of the song. It doesn't take that much technical nonsense. It just takes a bit of gear. But your gear can be borrowed. Someone's got a decent mic that probably. You've got that desperate little orchestra in your head, right? If you're playing this sort of stuff, so you kind of know what it's supposed to sound like. So you're never really going to be able to mix yourself better than anyone else who's, used to mixing singer-songwriters. That sort of thin,
that Nashville.
It's. I think it's a lot easier to get a good sound mixing yourself. Really, it's just with a little bit of practice. It's also fun. Like it's super fun figuring out how do I get this. And it's really rewarding when you sort of figure out a little trick. Because there's all little tricks to recording. I think when you get one, you go, oh shit, like the delaying that right channel. I'm telling you.
In terms of listening material, obviously I don't want to give you guys homework, but it's always nice to have some new music in your life. Could you recommend 3 or 12 albums for people who are interested in this style of music to get into?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. It's tough, isn't it? I mean, like, I guess everyone should listen to John Fahey because he's kind of a sort of a formative figure within it for a reason. I guess he put out a lot of records. The best of John Fahey's album. No, but maybe that is a good suggestion. But I mean, I like America. I think that's a great one. Or you could start, with Blind Joe Death, something like that, or Requiem. Like one of the big John Fahey records. I think just at least one of those. I mean, I'd like a lot of the sort of slightly stranger guitar players myself. Like, I mean, I'm a really big like Wilburn Burchett fan. If you know Master Wilburn Burchett. Yes. Yeah, he was a...
Not a name we hear very regularly in this studio.
He was, what's it called? The back of the magazine Mystic, selling his records for meditative purposes. I mean, I think that's great in terms of like kind of like guitar ambience. Things you can do with that. I would recommend like Guitar Grimoires or something like that is a banger. I mean, I'm a big blues fan, but they don't... record, you don't really have blues albums, the stuff I like. It was all it was all 78s,
right.
So they don't really exist. So you do literally just have to go the best of Skip James, the best of Mississippi John Hurt, best of Blind Boy. I guess you could do Trucking My Blues Away. That's a great record,
exactly.
But Blind Boy Fuller, yeah, that's another good one. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there, man. These are all guitar records, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not getting into my weird synth phase.
Not in this interview, but it's certainly a conversation I'll be very happy to have with you.
But, I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff. There's probably a billion things that I've forgotten about. I'm terrible. I actually hate these questions.
I'm so sorry.
And I usually answer them in a really obnoxious way.
This has been an absolute joy. GWENIFER Raymond, thank you so much for your time. Thank you to you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay tuned.